Everybody wanna shine. I was born like this, don't even gotta try. I like shot a nigga better over time. They just say I'm not the baddest bitch, you lie. It ain't my fault that I'm out here getting loose. Gotta blame it on the goose.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 8th wonder of the world, flow of the century, always timeless. Thank you for coming out tonight. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. Y'all know I always gotta start with some nonsense every episode of Out Loud with Leah. But guys, welcome back. Thank you for being here. And not only did I choose that to just start on that because it's Jay-Z and he's iconic, the song is iconic, but the up and coming iconic star Lizzo, who I came in doing my jig to, her song Juice, which is a surefire hit this summer. It's been out for a while, but it's just a great song, especially when you're getting up and you just need some motivation. Like, if I'm shining, everybody gonna shine. Anyways, the correlation between her and Jay-Z and the song Izzo, if you can't kind of already pick up on where it's going, is it correlates to her name. She chose her name based off that song. She started rapping or something when she was about 14 or maybe a little bit younger, and her name was originally Lissa, because her name is Melissa, her birth name, and then that song was popular, she changed it to Lizzo. So a little fun fact for you guys, but let's speak about her a little bit more. So Lizzo, born in Detroit, raised a good amount of her life in Houston, but heavily represents Minneapolis, my hometown, which is another reason I love her, because she heavily represents Minneapolis. Is a singer, songwriter, and a rapper. And she also, not a lot of people know, is a classically trained flutist. So she's been playing the flute since she was about 14 as well. And sorry, I'm a little sweaty because it's so hot in the office today, like super hot. So I'm kind of getting a sneak peek of what's going to be going on this summer as I record these episodes. But anyway, she is multifaceted, super talented, and the thing that I think everyone is drawn to her is because she's so body positive. She lives her life so openly and boldly, and she is really shedding light on what I call true beauty, because she was just recently on the cover of Essence magazine, and she says she wants to normalize, you know, stretch marks and rolls and butt dimples and things like that, because everyone has them, no matter like who you are. If you're a celebrity, rich, you have them. You might pay to cover it up or fix it, alter it, but you have it. And she's just making you know, the natural, you know, everyone's different in their body types, making it all to be beautiful. And she lives out loud. And in her article on Essence, she talks about just like she hates sometimes being called unapologetic, because a lot of that, if I was to think of her, I would think of unapologetic, but she kind of sometimes hates that title because it's like you have to be apologetic for something, and why would you have to be apologetic for being a black, for being a woman, for being bigger? And she is just kind of rewriting that stereotype. I feel like she's really celebrating true beauty, because no one doesn't have stretch marks. No one, like, it's just a natural thing for all human beings, all women. So she just shines light on that, and her music is so fun and it's so positive. Again, her sound is just so versatile. She not only does like hip hop rap, she's been in indie rock bands. She's opened up for artists like Florence and the Machines and Haim. And she also did some stuff with Prince back when he was alive in Minneapolis. So she's just really had an incredible journey, and it's about time that I think that the world is really starting to take notice of this talented young woman, because not only does she have sick bars, she has an amazing soulful voice. And she also says she doesn't like that because it's like a stereotype that especially big black women usually have soulful voices, but I can't think of another way to describe it, because I feel it in my soul. It's like not just the sound, but it's how I feel when I listen to her music. And you feel not only like a bad bitch when you listen to Lizzo, but you feel positive and you feel great. And that's what she's trying to do, just especially for women. And she says like her music is for all women, but especially for black women, where sometimes it's hard to show up and be truly your big, loud, authentic, beautiful, bold self. And that's the music she makes. I feel like she's only gonna get bigger and bigger this year, and that she continue to make more albums. It's just gonna be no stopping her, because she has the talent, the personality, and just the story and the honest drive to make the world a better place, and, you know, make it more inclusive. And she is spreading a message that everyone can get aligned with. It's positivity, and especially in a time like the time we're in now. I wore my Girls Rule shirt. I know the camera's not the best suited for you to see it, but I wore it because we do rule. We have the power, and although we're going through things like what's happening in Alabama with the abortion legislation. We have to stick together and continue to fight and push forward, because at the end of the day, we need to just embrace our power, and we can't let, you know, our surroundings, our environment, America, we can't let white men, we can't let all these things dim our light and make us change who we are. And that's kind of, you know, not to get too, you know, get political and get down, because that's a big thing that I don't want to focus on today. But just with that climate and the kind of music that Lizzo is putting out, I think is very important. And not only is it fun and uplifting, but it's important. The message is important. So I can go on and on, but we're gonna stop there, and I'm gonna play a snippet of the video. You can find the full-length video at the link in my bio. So check it out. Juice by Lizzo.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, don't say it 'cause I know I'm cute. Oh, baby. Louis down to my drawers, LV all on my shoes. Oh, baby. I be dripping so much sauce, got a bed looking like Grey Goose. Oh, baby. Lit up like a crystal ball, that's cool, baby, so is you, that's how I roll.
If I'm shining, everybody's gonna shine. I was born like this, don't even gotta try. Bitch, you lie. Love that video, love that song, if you can't tell, because it screams I love myself, and if you don't love it, keep it moving, don't care. And that's just the whole essence of Lizzo, is self-love, you know, self-power, recognizing it, grasping it, and honing it, because that's, you know, you are who you are and you can't change it. So if anyone's gonna love you, you have to love yourself the hardest, ride for yourself the hardest. And I just love that message, and I just want us all, especially as women and black women, to embrace everything that's unique about us. And you know, it might not be beautiful to someone else, but that person is crazy. Anyways, love Lizzo, continue to check her out. I'm telling you, she's finally starting to get the acclaim that she deserves, and you're only going to see more and more of her in the coming months and year, and I'm proud of her. And just so you know, she is on tour. Her North American tour starts in July. She's been doing some shows now. She was just in Brooklyn a couple of weeks ago, and I did not make it. I was so sad, because most of her shows are always sold out. I guess you can go to StubHub and pay an arm and a leg when people try to resell the tickets, but again, it's unfortunate for some, but I'm really happy for her, because I feel like she only deserves it, and the world deserves it. We need to hear her at the time we're in right now. But again, check her out. Oh, and also she was at the Met Gala. So, we're gonna talk about the Met Gala, and she was also on Essence digital cover. She looks so beautiful, a flower in full bloom, you know. And I think that's especially where she's at right now in her life and in her career. So check out the cover. She looked amazing, and I can't say it enough. I'm so happy to have artists like her, and I feel like she's gonna be one of the biggest artists of our generation. I'm calling it now. Now, moving on. Speaking of new music and albums, DJ Khaled dropped another one. Oh, I'm really cracking myself up today. Hold on, let me try that again. DJ Khaled dropped another one called Father of Assad. The album, I've listened to it so far, and it is great. I love it. My favorite part about the album is kind of what I've been talked about on the other few episodes, is just I don't know if it's the correct term I'm going to use, but the globalization of music right now, how we're just really mixing, you know, hip hop and Afro and you know, reggaeton, and there's all these different genres just mixing and making this beautiful, big, global, multicultural pot of amazing music. My favorite songs on the album though are You Stay with Meek Mill, Jeremiah, Little Baby, and J Balvin. And then I also love Higher, the song with the late Nipsey Hussle and John Legend. And I just want to say, I haven't made a video since his passing, but RIP to Nipsey Hussle. I feel like that was a very sad it has been a very sad time in hip hop. Just when somebody who has that, you know, the message and the vision that he had for community and what hip hop truly meant and how to use it as a catalyst for change, when that kind of, you know, visionary and community worker dies, is really hard. And Again, I don't want to go into that because I don't like talking about too much sad stuff, but just listening to that song kind of brought back all those feels just to hear his voice and know that he's no longer with us. But then again, it's also just a great uplifting song just to know that his music will continue to live on and his message will continue to live on. So that's what I'm going to say about that, but definitely check out the album. I think this is one of my favorite DJ Khaled albums. I really like the last one too, but this one I don't know, something about it, the vibe is different. And I feel like, again, it comes at the perfect time when we did have, you know, things like Nipsey Hussle dying, something that's powerful and uplifting and just has a good message and a good sound to feel good. Going into the summer, it's getting warm, and I think it's just a good song. But listen to the whole album. I'm still kind of listening. I haven't listened to every song in depth as I want to, but I've gotten the vibe of it and I thoroughly enjoy it. So definitely recommend you guys listen to it. But again, my favorite are Higher and You Stay. Listen to those. Those are some real bops. Either if you want to be bopping down the street or if you kind of want to be a little bit more introspective and something just makes you feel good on a Sunday afternoon or something like that. So that's that. DJ Khaled dropped the album. So I'm just going to quickly touch on the Met Gala just because we talked about Lizzo and she was invited this year, which I think is a big deal. So for you guys who don't know, but I'm pretty sure everyone knows, it's an iconic moment in fashion where all the elite creatives from all the industries, music, fashion, film, literature, they all come together to celebrate the commencement of the newest exhibit. This year it was Camp, Notes on Fashion. So the whole theme of the Met Gala this year was camp. And at first when I looked into it, I wasn't really sure what it was. When you look it up, it's pretty much in simplest form. Is something looking so great because it's so bad. It was like a sense of style and fashion at the time. But as I looked more into it and kind of wrapped my head around it and to really figure out what camp was, I kind of fell in love with it. And I think this was my favorite theme in the last couple of years because it's very timely with what's happening now. And I think there's a theme of basically what I've been talking about today is that everything, especially in the creative form, music and that kind of thing, it's very timely with what's going on in our socio-political climate. And it's all about freedom of self-expression, and that's what camp to me embodies. It's bold, it's crazy, it's nonsensical, but it's not for, you know, everyone to understand. It's for that person who is wearing or chose, you know, made that choice to understand. And it was really, camp was really big in the drag community. So for years they've kind of been embodying that theme of camp, and people like Lena Waithe and her statement on her blazer was cool. But like literally everyone came and they shut it down, especially the ladies. No offense to the fellas are great too, but the ladies just came and shut it down, showed up and shut it down. You know, who looked amazing to me? Lupita looked amazing, Sierra looked amazing, J-Lo was kind of simple, but you know, it's J-Lo, so I had to mention her. You know, Bill Porter shut it down just like he did the Grammys. He's really been on a mission this year to just make statements, bold statements. Who else? Gabrielle Union, Priyanka, Gigi Hadid. I really love Gigi Hadid's look. Who else did I really like? Laverne Cox, Janet Mock. Janet Mock was actually my favorite one. When I think about how my fashion taste, I feel like I like to take slight risks, but I'm still pretty simple. Like I kind of stay within the lines, which I feel like if I had more money, I would take more fashion choices. But I feel like now my style is pretty defined, but I also always like just like slight things that kind of take it, you know, make it a little bit over the top or just make more of a statement. So I love her dress because that was simple but still made that statement. And I was just so excited to watch it, or to see the looks that everyone came up with, because again, it's all about self-expression. So some people came in something like, you know, like Janelle Monáe, like hers looked like a literal piece of art, whereas, you know, Zendaya came in like a Cinderella type dress for her first look. So it's just like everyone was like everyone's own interpretation, and I think that was just so timely in what's going on in our society today, and especially as women, to be able to make those choices. It's all about choice, and you know, it's all about expression, and it's all about, you know, being who you want to be, being who you are. So I won't go too much into that because I mean, I feel like everyone watched it and everyone kind of had these discussions already, but I just want to touch on that just quickly because it was so timely and what it means for the culture and what the message truly was and what camp embodies. So take a look at some of my favorite looks. I know I named some names, but take a look at some of my favorite looks.
I be dripping so much sauce, got a bit looking like Grey Goo. Lit up like a crystal ball, that's cool, baby, so is you, that's how I roll. If I'm shining, everybody gonna shine. I was born like this, don't even gotta try. I like shot a nigga better over time. They just say I'm not the baddest. what you like. It ain't my fault that I'm out here getting loose. Gotta blame it on the goose. Gotta blame it on my juice, baby. It ain't my fault that I'm out here making news. I'm the pudding in the proof. Gotta blame it on my juice.
So if I had to pick my favorite look from the night, it would definitely be Ciara. I feel like she beautifully harmonized black culture and camp culture together, and I think those together is a bold, powerful statement, and there's something definitely to be said and recognized about that choice. And it was just beautiful to me, and I just loved watching her do her thing on the carpet at the Met Gala. So I would definitely say she was my favorite. And then my least favorite, I would have to say, is Kim Kardashian. Not because everyone loves to hate on Kim Kardashian. I don't hate on Kim Kardashian. You know, she's not a bad person, whatever. But I just think her look was too simple. It didn't really embody what it meant to be camp. And I feel like it was just like one of her iconic Kim looks, like a tight, like tan dress, though like wet hair look. She looked beautiful. I loved her makeup. But I think she could have just wore that to anything, you know, not really the Met Gala. So I would just say it didn't meet my standards of what it is to really go all out for the Met Gala. It was camp, for Christ's sake, it was camp. So I just feel like she could have did more. So I would say she was my least favorite, but still beautiful nonetheless. But back to Ciara, because she looked amazing, and I just feel like she is such a warm, beautiful soul. I met her last year at this Grammy event, and sometimes when you see celebrities, especially in New York City, it's like I'm not ever starstruck. And some celebrities you just know not to say anything because they don't want to be bothered or whatever. They have this aura around them that is not the best, most positive, engaging aura. But her, she was just so warm and positive, and she took a picture with me, and it was just great. I love her. Check out the picture, actually. I'll show you guys. But anyway, she's so nice, and I just feel like she is truly happy with herself, with her life. You know, she's happily married to Russell Wilson. She has 2 beautiful kids, and I just feel like that is permeating through all her actions and, you know, the vibration she's been putting out. She just released a new album on her own label, which is amazing. I love seeing women do big things, especially in the music industry, because that's what I aspire to do. And it's called Beauty Marks. And I think it is truly about, you know, being hurt and, you know, having these scars from, you know, trauma of your past, but, you know, taking that in the future, not letting that alter how you move and how you act in your future, really using them and seeing them as beauty marks. They make you who you are. If it wasn't for that trauma, for those cuts, for those bruises, for, you know, from the heartache, from the, you know, the pain, the agony, you wouldn't be where you are. And to be able to be in a good point in life and look back on all the bad stuff and say, without that, I wouldn't be where I am, and have that positive spin on it. You know, they aren't cuts and bruises, they're actually beauty marks. So I love, you know, the message behind her new album. She had a nice touching video where she kind of shows, you know, raw footage of her wedding and, you know, the birth of her daughter, Sienna. So I don't know, I just, you know, besides her looking amazing at the Met Gala, I just loved seeing her and everything she's doing in music and just in her everyday life with her different endeavors. Her and Russell just started up a new production company, and where they want to help, you know, young people and people who normally don't have a voice to create and produce, you know, content, which I think is amazing. So I just digress there. But again, big up to Ciara. You know, some on Out Loud with Leah, we're always about the black girl magic. So wherever I could, you know, big up some ladies who are doing cool things, I'm going to. And I think I want to end lastly with another black girl magic piece, and that is Zendaya. I have always been a big fan of Zendaya, just, you know, mostly of who she is outside of like her films and stuff. Because I just think she's cool. She's really big into fashion, taking fashion choices. So she like looked amazing at the Met Gala. She has a really cool stylist that she's worked with, you know, for most of her career. But I'm just gonna shed some light on her because she graced the cover of Vogue magazine. And I know last time on Out Loud with Leah, we did some magazine covers. Because again, you're starting to see ourselves more, you know, in pop culture on these, you know, traditionally white magazines. But still, every time I see it, I have to, you know, just take a step back and appreciate it and just the representation. So here, look at Zendaya on Vogue. She looked amazing. And yeah, I'm gonna end the episode on that. This episode, I feel, again, has been so much black girl magic, women empowerment, being bold, audacious, vivacious, lively, bold, being happy with who you are, loving yourself. It's just all great messages that, you know, our culture and art has been, you know, presenting that message, and I'm so happy to see it. But before I end, actually, I just want to let you guys know that I might not be making any episodes for a while because I'm taking to the friendly skies with my bae on Drake Air. Yes, Drake has bought a new airplane. It's called Drake Air. Check out our new whip with wings. So yeah, I'm gonna be going on vacations, you know, soon, you know, on our private jet. I don't know when, but soon. So I'm, you know, I'm just saying, just so y'all know, I'm gonna be traveling. I might not be making any episodes. Wishful thinking, you know, it's all about speaking stuff into existence. Okay, no, I'm kidding though. But for real, there's so much power in speaking stuff into existence, and that's actually in real life. You know, I was just joking about other stuff, but in real life, that's what the quote of the week is. So I read this quote, and it just spoke to me because right now, as I've said on other episodes, like there's been, you know, a roller coaster as there is with life, where it's ups and downs. You don't know what's what. You're not sure you're on the right path. But lately, I have been really in sync. And I've really been getting these messages that I'm in the right spot. Like so many weird coincidences, and there are no coincidences, everything happens for a reason. So, but there's these weird occurrences that I'm like, that's crazy that that's happening. Like things are coming full circle, and I'm just getting messages spoken to me from people that I don't even know that well. And that's the universe's sign to tell me that I am on the right path and I'm where I'm supposed to be, which is a cool thoughts. Even when I'm like feeling down at work and I'm getting tired of all the BS, like, you know, with corporate America and just work, I mean, it's all gonna be some nonsense when you're not working for yourself. Even working for yourself is gonna be nonsense. But it's just like when you get all that, it's like, you know what, I'm not gonna sweat the little stuff because I know that I have a greater purpose and I'm only moving closer and closer to that purpose. So we're gonna end this week's episode with a bunch of positivity and light because this quote I think is it's so full of light and it's so powerful. So the quote is, focus on the powerful, euphoric, magical, synchronistic, beautiful parts of life, and the universe will keep giving them to you. And I think that quote just really means being patient, being persistent, and being aware. Just realizing, one, being thankful for the blessings that you do have, and just being aware of those signs. Because when you are someone who is filled with purpose, a mission, and it's hard to get off track, but if you just stay focused and you just stay aware of what's going on, like the signs, you're gonna see them and you're gonna know, you're gonna feel it, you're gonna know it, you're gonna see it, that you're on the right path. So I just want to challenge you guys all to slow down and just look at all the positives in your life right now, because I know they're there. And when you start thinking positively, and you start thinking beautiful thoughts, and you start just, you know, appreciating it, they're gonna just continue to occur, and they're gonna keep happening until at one point you're gonna wake up and be like, whoa, this is what I dreamed. This is where I wanted to be. I'm there. And granted, you always gotta keep elevating, you know, and growing to the next level, never be complacent. But there's so many beautiful things happening around you and for you. And it's just gotta be aware of it. So I just wanted to, you know, some people who are really more on the spiritual side and think about, you know, the messages that we see in our everyday life that some, you know, may not have the ability or even realize are there. For those who care about that stuff, I just want you just to continue to keep looking, because I promise you that the signs are there, that you're on the right path and you're going to be who you want to be, and it's going to all work out. So don't stress the little stuff. So yes, and I feel like I just digressed from the quote, so I'm gonna say it one more time because I feel like I just threw a whole bunch of other stuff in there, but I'm gonna read it one more time. It is, focus on the powerful, euphoric, magical, synchronistic, beautiful parts of life, and the universe will keep giving them to you. And that's what I'm gonna leave you with. Thank you so much for tuning in this week, and I will see you soon.